welcome everyone to Politically High Tech with your host, Elias. I have a great guest returning. We're going to go back to season 4 when I first started doing video podcasting. Yeah, the first 3 seasons were only audio because 1, I was more lazy, and 2, that was the major trend. Just being honest. But I kind of like doing both, actually. So I know people's not consuming video podcasts as much to some degree. I blame you, Gen Z. You've been called out on the data, by the way, but it's okay. I'm going to be a stubborn old mule as a proud millennial. I'm going to still do video and audio. So I'm going to do both, okay? To me, it's hard to go back. It's just hard for me to go backwards. I'm not going to go to only audio. To me, I feel like I'm going back in time. No. I don't know. Maybe, it could be so interactive one point. I could just grab you through the screen, you come to my house. I don't know. It'd probably be that interactive at some point. That's probably Web 4. I don't know. Okay. Maybe Web 4, but I'm probably going to be going a little too ballistic there. So far, I would say we're integrating Web 3 and, Web 2 has already been fully adopted like decades ago. Okay. Social media and all that. Yeah, that's Web 2, folks. Okay. With AI and look, AI is interesting. I'm still pro AI, even though I'm aware of its limitations and silliness and all that. And before I have the guests introduced, we're going to talk about first, I'm just giving you the start point. We're going to talk about the dating impacts of AI and his product, okay? And then we're going to see what goes from there. We might talk about silly videos and whatever other trends that I might not even be aware of because, look, I'll say my AI diving skills, I will say I'm kind of like I'm a more of an informed customer. So I'm definitely better than the average customer. But I am not as good as someone with a tech background. So I'm kind of in the middle. Okay. And that's where my tech expertise lie. But if I'm willing to learn it, I've read code easily. So I'm pretty sure I could pick it up. I did took an IQ test. I found out I have 170. I was actually pretty shocked. I thought it was like 110. Yeah. But it's funny, I suck at chess. So don't think I'm going to whip your ass at chess. It'll be the opposite, actually. You can actually whip my ass. So I'm not a chess master. I could brag about other things, but chess is not one of them, okay? I only beat some beginners, and that's it. That's all my accolades right there. And that's where it's going to begin. That's where it's going to end, okay? Before I keep on this rant, because we're going to talk about just AI trends and we're going to talk about AI dating. I'm curious about what impact AI has done on. And, if you want to go back and go to the previous episode with Eric McHugh, that'll be episode 194. The link will be in the description. The last time we touched this topic, you only just did surface level scratching, shameless plug-in. So we get a little deeper to data-ing, the world's first AI matchmaker. And then, I'm going to let him introduce himself his name is Eric McHugh, and I'm going to let him take it away. And my very first question to all guests, what do you want the audience and the listeners and the viewers to know?
Honestly, I don't really want them to know anything. Just go and just play. Yeah, I find it pretty cringy when people do leave like a long, just like, oh, blah, my name is blah, blah, blah. I've done X, Y, and Z. I'm so fancy. Look at me. I find that kind of cringe, so I try to avoid it when we can. So since we're doing a free-flowing podcast, my name is Eric, and just take whatever you want from this podcast.
Oh, very first. He was more introductory. He was friendly with the intro before. We could go back to that recording. We got to go back to the previous episodes to find out who he was and what he is and what he's currently doing. You compare past and present, I guess. That's a little activity for you audiences if you have enough time or you cringe yourself, whatever. I'm still going to put the link so you can indulge in that for your convenience because you already did the intro there. Hey, he's here for the second time. I'm okay with it. So if you don't want to say crap, you want to say he's a ghost, that's fine. I really don't. I really could care less. So let's start with this data thing because we already said this is a world's first AI data matchmaker, and what's been the impact of this product so far?
So it's been pretty awesome. Dating is the first AI-powered matchmaking service. So we're an app in the App Store. And what we do is we auto-generate dating profiles based on the user's digital footprints. Let's say you create an account, you link all your social media, like your YouTube, your Pinterest, your photos, all that stuff. And then tags are generated on the back end. And then we use those tags to generate a dating profile for the user. and generate matches for those users. So for example, I could be into Muay Thai, so I get hashtag Muay Thai on my profile, and there's a high correlation between people who are into Muay Thai and people who go hiking. So it matched me with people who like to go hiking, and then it creates matches from that way. And the reason dating is different than other dating apps is our incentive structure. So if you think about it logically, let's say we're Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. I mean, they're all by Match.com, so it is pretty much a monopoly. The big three issues are: first issue is it's hot or not. So swipe left, swipe right. That's not a way to know someone. The second issue is like top 5% of users get access to everyone on the app, creating a skewed marketplace. And the third issue is the incentive structure behind the app. So if I were on Tinder, I match with my future wife, whatever, we get married, we both leave the app. That results in a loss of a paying customer for Tinder. Tinder is working with Goldman Sachs. They would sell honestly anyone for $1. You can see why that creates a loop of people deleting the app, downloading the app, deleting the app, downloading the app. Whereas dating, after the match is made, it can act as a relationship butler. And the cool thing about this is you can think of dating as a layer on top of ChatGPT. So we get all the benefits of ChatGPT. So all the upgrades that they're getting, we get that too, but we add a personalized layer of data for that. So it's actually kind of evolved, because when you're building tech, the most random things happens. It's actually the most personalized LLM in the world right now, because it's on top of ChatGPT and it's all my data on top of that. So it knows me extremely well. And so we've actually seen people use dating as their main LLM, which wasn't planned, but it's also pretty sick. And another thing that differentiates dating from ChatGPT is, like, let's say, how people are asking like AI questions, like, what should I do for dinner? So-and-so did this. Like, if I were to say, Elias pissed me off, here's what he did. It'd be like, okay, Eric, here's why he did this. Here's what you should do about it. And I'd be like, thank you, ChatGPT. That's a wonderful answer. But why would I think that's a wonderful answer? It's because ChatGPT is giving me the answer based on it knowing me. So it's just giving me basically a regurgitation of what I would want to think, whereas completely ignoring you, Elias. Whereas dating is different. So let's say we're in a chat. Obviously, it's a dating app, but we've also introduced a friends feature. So like, let's say we're in a chat and we ask it a question about ourselves, like, where should we eat? It takes in context from both users. So both of our users, not just me, because it's going to suggest something I like, not just you, it's going to suggest something you like, but both of us, and it's going to give an accurate suggestion. And this is very powerful when it comes to relationships. So we've seen an influx of couples use it, because like it can help plan dates. It's like, oh, your anniversary is coming up. What should I do for this? Oh, she just added this thing on Pinterest board. It might be a good gift, all that stuff. But we've actually seen people use it as a relationship counselor for that. So the dating app is going well. It's live in the App Store for Apple users. We just launched a web app too. So now people globally can sign up. So we're expanding globally so you can find your friend across the world. And the ways we're going to build that out is we're testing out communities too. So it's becoming a supportive human connection. So like if you're in any community, like let's say we're both in, I don't know, we're testing out cryptocurrencies just because that's my expertise. Like cryptocurrencies have their communities and all that stuff. It's like you're in the Stacks community. Find me my best friend in Stacks who we would get along with the most, and it can find you that person. And then that's a way to connect within community. So we're building out that. We're about to build our API so people can launch on that and just build products based on that. So we have a recruiting service lined up. So they're going to build our API. They're going to build on top of our API and use it to match users with proper employers. Because again, that's also very important. Like imagine if you can match with an employer who actually vibes with you versus someone you hate. I'm sure, like, because most people spend most of their life in the workplace. So matching with people you actually connect with is very important. So we have that coming down the line. Oh, we just got a grant from the Stacks Foundation. So we're very thankful for that. We're going to build out a data monetization marketplace. So what that essentially is, it's like the good version of Facebook. How Facebook just takes your data, steals it. So we're going to build out. So like, okay, let's say you're on the app, you want to sell you connect all your sources. You're like, okay, I connect the sources because it helps me match people. It knows me better. All good and dandy. You're going to make it so like, oh, I can toggle the app. If you want to sell your data, you have the optionality too. So then theoretically, if someone buys your data, you get paid out instantly. And that's where the Stacks Foundation wants us to come in. Because like, hey, we built this marketplace, people buy that, you get paid out instantly, and Stacks cryptocurrency. So they get a new user, everyone's happy. So that's kind of, we're building out a data marketplace. As LLMs become because like I mentioned earlier, we are the most personalized LLM in the world right now. We have very, very rich data, and people will want to use that data and conversation data to train other LLMs. And if they're paying us, we want to share with the users who are making the money too. And of course, it's completely voluntarily too. It's like, yes, no, you went in, no, or you went out. That's fine. You went in, you want to make $50 a month or whatever the price is. That's also fine. So it's really up to the user. So things are going great with that.
Oh, wow. So yeah, but I mean the dating apps I already found a complete horse crap. That's just my basic opinion, and yeah, it's very super skewed. And some people develop a sense of entitlement. Oh, I want the tens or the top 1% of good looking guys or girls in the world. And it's all just based on looks, and let's be clear, just visual horniness.
Yep.
It doesn't last, and it doesn't last. It doesn't last very long. I mean, you're just lucky, just merge in bed, just to put it a little nicely, and then that's it. Or I call it hump and dump relationship, and that's it.
And the problem
I
with that
mean,
is it honestly damages your further relationships down the line too. Like obviously every relationship you're in brings a certain amount of baggage. If you believe in spirituality stuff, which I do, every person you have sex with creates a soul ties. And that takes like 7 to 10 years to get rid of. Again, honestly, it's politically incorrect, so I'll just speak what I think is happening. The top 5% of dudes on the dating apps are getting all the matches of all the girls. So like, let's say, not to break people down in numbers, but like, let's say everyone's a scale 1 through 10. Like the nines and 10 dudes are getting all the matches on the app. So like, dudes will kind of sleep with anything if it's free and easy. So the 9 to 10 dudes will match with like the 10 girls, 8, 6, 7, all the way down to like, honestly, like 3 or 4. And the 10 dude will bang the 4 because it's a dude. Let's be real. Like, they'll sleep with anything. Like, if she comes over, she comes over. But now that 4, she thinks she can lock down the 10, which is never going to happen. And then she ignores her relational equivalent. So now no one's happy. The 4 guys not happy because he's getting 0 attention. The 4 girls not happy because she's in like a rotation of the 10 dude. The 10 dude's honestly like, he feels like he's happy, but also it's not great for you to just go around sleeping with anyone. In my opinion, I mean, if you want to do it, you can. So just creating a system of unhappiness. And I think people are profiting on that as well. So like the dating apps, I think, again, politically incorrect. I think conspiracy theory wise, and like most dating apps are owned by Match.com. So I've noticed a funnel too. So like you join Tinder, you join whatever, you join the big ones, you create a profile. Most people don't have success. Then you get ads for like the more lesser profiles, like the more obscure ones. So like I would get ads for like specific gym dating, specific Filipino dating because I'm Filipino. And I think they're creating profiles from the data that they use the other profiles for. So now I'm like, okay, the Filipino one seems cool. I'm Filipino. I want that actually. I sign up for that. I have no luck again because there's no real users. It's all ghost users. And it sends me down the line to more obscure apps. So then eventually I was getting like, you find your bride in Ukraine. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I think the end of the funnel is like the OnlyFans girls. Again, all conspiracy theories. I don't know, but that's just what I've noticed. I've been following the breadcrumbs.
oh yeah, and I mean, I could use that a lot more time on YouTube. Home example. Once you start clicking on this, it get more obscure and it gets weirder. And so it's like go down a rabbit hole. And all it's true. Just keep just keep consuming whatever niche you're into. Then you're gonna get something who's more obscure. So it's more interesting, and then it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And then you might land to a creepy pasta. Whatever.
The creepypasta variant. I went to the creepypasta page, and they're pretty entertaining, honestly.
I will never understand it. I don't know. I'm too numb to feel fear at this point. So, okay, what's this other? Okay, how is SpongeBob the most evil thing? How is Sonic the Hedgehog the most scary? Fill in the character. How are they evil and scary? Okay, that's all it is for me. I'm a boomer in that. I will never get it. And you're just going to deal with it. So feel free to insult me. I could care less. I will think since I'm a bit chunky, I'm just going to think it's food. Okay. So listen, I'm just too numb. I'm too numb. I just don't care when it comes to creepy pasta. People love it. People love doing it. Some people get a lot of clicks for it, but hey, I know it's slightly off topic, but I get your point. When it comes to algorithms, just give you more obscure things as the more you consume content or exploring similar content, down the line, like your case would be dating apps. So it's weird. Algorithms, they'll do things too. They give you a lot of things that are related, and then they're gonna throw something odd in there. They'll throw a little curveball in there every once in a while. I think that's just algorithms trying to tell you, hey, you want to go down a rabbit hole or change your interests. That's my thinking at least. I don't want you go conspiracy theory all you want. I haven't banned that, and I don't think I'm not going to ban it because sometimes it's just interesting to talk about it. Listeners and viewers, you take it or leave it. Okay, just that's up to you want to believe it or not, or dig deeper into it. We're adults here. I'm not going to make this into PG, Mickey Mouse, family friendly. This is not a family friendly podcast. So if we go down the rabbit hole, we want to talk conspiracy theories. They are allowed in there. Just know what you're getting into, okay? And if you want to believe it, that's entirely up to you, okay? So that's good. So dating, it's not just creating the best relationships, even maintaining them for the future stages that are ahead on like all these other mainstream, Match.com affiliates. I'm just gonna call them that
Yeah,
because
that's what they are.
so that's where they are. And yeah, yeah, and they have so much ads, and since they're such a big company, you just dump a bunch of ads, and that's where they get a crap ton of users with skewed experiences. Yeah, no, we definitely got to push something that's trying to create real relationships because it's true. Because I think the dating scene has been damaged. I'm not saying it's completely hopeless, but it's been damaged because of
Well,
tools like these. Yeah,
it's an incentive structure. So like dating, like our monetization model in the future is going to be like if you meet a girl, you like her, you plan the date within the app, it suggests, then you book within the app. The date is booked, and we will get a cut of the date that's booked within the app. So dating, like Match.com, Tinder, Hinge, they're incentivized to not match you with your person, whereas we actually are incentivized to match you with the person. So if those are whether the people at Match are good people or bad people, whether the people are dating are good or bad people, I think people follow their incentives. So our incentives are to match as many people as possible and make those good matches. And the powerful thing about AI too is like, it's always learning too. So like I'm saying yes, no, yes, blah, blah, blah. All those things I'm giving reasons for why yes, reasons for why no. It's learning about me. It's getting better at matching me. It's getting better at matching me. But the cool thing is like if you're on the app, you're saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. It's getting better at matching you. But it's also picking up between patterns between both of us. So like if there's patterns that it knows to be, okay, these type of people, they have these tags, they connect well with these people. So like the more we're both on the app, the better it gets matches for both of us. And if you scale that across thousands of users, because AI is really good at pattern recognition and dating and data analysis at scale. So like, again, like completely random example, it's not true, but like I'm wearing a black shirt, like if it just notices that for whatever reason, the people who wear black shirts consistently are matched very well with people into pickleball, like that would make no sense for both of us because like I don't see the correlation, but the data doesn't lie. It would notice that. So it understands the layers better than most of us. It's just going to get better and better. And the cool thing about dating is like, again, it's always updating its tag. So if you connect social again, you add new photos, you talk to Cupid, you tell it your interest, people are using that LLM. So it's like, hey, I'm now into pickleball. Okay, it knows you're into pickleball. Now it's going to learn off of that. So it's always updating. It's always generating that profile. And something we intentionally built into the app too is, again, like no fault on dudes, but most dudes are bad at presenting themselves. So we're building dating to present the positive side of you too. So like, okay, I'm into Legos, or no, I'm into anime. I think anime is awesome. Most girls don't like anime, but whatever. So if my anime tag is heavy, it'll be like, okay, Eric's into anime. I know that may not be your cup of tea, but it shows he's deep into storytelling. The animes he likes shows that he could be a good family man because of the values that the anime portrays. So it adds that positive spin. It's like, oh, you're into Legos again. Probably not the biggest chick magnet thing in the world, but like, okay, he's into Legos. That shows he's highly organized. He's dependable. So draw the positive sides about that and give you like that positive spin, which you guys need. So,
that's such a really good point. And this is why I was actually getting girls in my 20s because I presented myself well. And sadly, I had to remove that. I know I'll call it the check dispel
yeah.
Features. I'm just going to say like that. And we all know, I mean, obviously smelling bad is a big no-no. Okay. You don't want to smell bad. I mean, that's super simple. I don't know how AI is going to spin that. I doubt it will. It doesn't want to.
Well, what it's gonna do is there's gonna be a relationship Cupid type thing. So again, data analysis is like, okay, Eric, you've been on 3 dates, you haven't been past the third date. Where are you taking them? Okay, don't go there. Or be like, okay, Eric, every girl you go tons of first dates, but they don't go past the first date. Cupid, and this is also another monetization model you can make. It's like, okay, Cupid, why am I getting rejected? Because I want to know why I'm getting rejected. Well, they all sell you smell. So take a shower. And you're just like, okay, well, that's helpful to know. So it can, again, like, it's learning too. So it's there to help you. So like, okay, you've been on 10 dates. It doesn't work. The girls are giving you reasons why it doesn't work. So they're telling Cupid so they don't match with anyone similar. So they're feeding Cupid helps them get matches, but it also gives you feedback on, obviously vice versa too. Like, the girls can get advice too, but like I'm using guys examples. So it'll give reasons on why you like them, why you don't like them, and then it'll give you feedback on your own days too, so you can do better the next time.
That's good. I mean, let me use a more realistic example. Some guys suck at holding the conversation. That kills the dates. So I'm sure there's gonna be feedback related to that as well. They can't hold the conversations. Some guys just can't.
Yeah.
They just think about getting her pants. Let's be honest. Yeah, and And look, I got my criticism of women, but I also got my criticism, man. It takes two
Equal.
to fuck. It takes two to fuck things up, okay? And I love when a woman just only attack men, and then there's also the vice versa, and then it takes two to fuck things up. It ain't just one way, or the other. In my honest opinion, is there commonalities why women screw up and why men screw up? Yeah, women is more based on my analysis, and feel free to chime in, even correct it, or add more to it. They bring trauma from past relationships into the next one. There's some guys like, I'm not going to deal with this.
Yeah, women can. The biggest reason I found, again, politically incorrect, is women choose very poorly, specifically when they're young. And since they all choose poorly, like they'll give advice from their friends, so it's all like it's a group of people choosing poorly, which makes the choices even poorer. And so this results in a skew too. So like imagine this: you're an 18-year-old girl, you're an 18-year-old guy. The 18-year-old girl has all the options in the world. She chooses the fuck boys over and over again, gets scarred, and then she kind of gets a little bit older. She realizes she has to get down in the relationship. That's when she meets the guy. So she's been choosing poorly, and all that trauma goes into the relationship. So the guy's kind of screwed. But at this point, this guy has had a poor time in the marketplace. So like the level of experience that they have with the opposite sex is also very skewed. Because again, like a 21-year-old guy versus a 20-year-old girl, who has the more options? And social media just makes that exponentially worse.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is not to shame any gender and all that, but these are the commonalities we see. Look, I rate Chris as a man. Look, he stink. He ain't gonna do that. And no, some men are just simple. Women just got to be there. Just get it on. Woman, no, we gotta talk a certain way. You gotta do a whole ritual for her to get ready. I mean, then there's some. I mean, look, are there exceptions to rules? Yes, they are. But these are common patterns, and AI is excellent at detecting, meta trends and patterns and all that stuff. It is evolving, which is good because look, some dating is trial and error. You're not gonna get it right the first time. You learn about yourself along the process, so you give its feedback. You and AI, for lack of a better word, are evolving, and it
Yeah.
takes that in, and then
It
get better
speeds
with it. So
it speeds up that trial and error process though too. So it puts you in the position to succeed. So you may fumble through your first dates, but it'll tell you pretty quickly. And the sooner you accept the advice, the better it'll get for you.
that's the key: accepting the advice. What if a man or woman is just they don't want to take feedback?
Oh,
They hear their feelings.
what do you want? What's AI? What's human good? That's really because in the end, it's all up to them.
No, right. So, hey, and it's, this is a great tool here because I already know the mainstream. I'm gonna call it mainstream. The Match.com affiliates. Their incentive structures is just to mess around and make it a skewed marketplace. And in terms of dating, and some are getting a lot more action in bed than others. That's just a fact. And and I believe social media has made things worse in terms of so can social media be a great tool? Of course it is. It can be, but let's be real. Social media has been used to spread fear and dilute our perceptions. You brainwash a lot of people, especially those who live on the phone. They're so freaking brainwashed. I said, well, I can't help you. I just cannot help you.
Well, the thing about
And
social
yeah, go
media
ahead.
is social media is just a tool. Like it's just like any other thing. Like a knife. I got this cool kuna thing. I can use it to harm someone. I can use it to protect someone. I can use it to cut a cake. It all really depends on the person. From a more spiritual conspiracy theory side, I believe in it. And everything for me is energy, frequency, and vibration. So when you're at a specific emotional level, like let's say you're angry, you're at that vibrational frequency of angry, and it's like a radio. If you're tuned to a station, you get that station. So like if you're shameful, you're at that's a lower level. You'll attract other shameful. If you're sad, you attract sad people. There's a certain level, and obviously like the happier, like peace, love, joy, those are higher vibrational frequencies where most people want to be at. But if you're in a specific level, like between 100 and 200, like anger, sad, fear, that's when people are most controllable. So I think that's why all the social media people push that specific type of content to keep people in a state of fear. Like, for example, COVID, whatever you think about, that's an example. It's like if I were in a position of power to control people, I could get them fearful. I could get them to do whatever I want. So I think that's why that type of specific content is being pushed. So yeah, I just
I like the connection with spirituality. I do cover spirituality a great amount of times, and yeah, I mean, what Eric's saying. I'm gonna just minus not theory. I'm going to minus the theory part. Yeah, I think it's a conspiracy. Okay, I'm just going to say that. I'm going to go that far just to say that because look, humans are controlled if they're in a lower vibrational state, like sadness, fear, shame, jealousy, whatever. Um, Yeah, as opposed to happy, loving. When you're in that frequency phase, you're a lot less vulnerable. Um, especially to the social media content that and I'm comfortable talking about politics. Rather, it's very left, very right. They throw content of them being controversial. That gets people wild up. Rather, I don't care left, right. Look, I already said before, I'm a proud registered independent because I think both parties are stupid.
Also,
And
same person, just different shoe.
yep, you're either gonna get a blue corporate America or a red corporate America.
Yeah.
That's it. And yeah, they might have a little decorations. One might have more of the American flag, which party that is. I always like to wave the American flag. And then one party uses the more rainbow flag, BLM flag, all the other flags, okay? More likely, just present diversity. You know which party is which. And guess what? You get no prize for figuring it out because it should be easy for you. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. And yeah, I just when it comes to these these tools, and I'm actually liking that. We're gonna push something. Dating. I keep saying dating. Yeah, but dating. Okay, it's yeah, it should be a great tool for you if you're serious about not just about finding a date, but also learning yourself how you deal with other people. Right? I mean, look, this whole journey called life, we're learning about ourselves every day, whether we realize it or not. And some may be shocking, some might not be so surprising. Everyone's journey is, it's unique. And I always say that, and that's a fact. You want to debate that in the comment section? You want to be a Reddit moron? Feel free to put it there. All I'm going to say is if you want to be extra spicy with your comment, wait for this to be on Rumble because YouTube will censor you, okay, if you go too far. Just reality. I'm not against censorship. YouTube is for that. And just so wait for it to get on Rumble, then you can post your most spiciest uncensored comment. I don't even care if it's insulting towards me. I don't. This is for you to learn or be open-minded to it. Because if you try any of these Match.com affiliate links and you realize it's not working, well, you got an idea why. Okay, it's no longer a freaking mystery. It's not just your feelings. It's not just anecdotal. Here's some metadata to back this up. Okay, and look, and anything else you want to add about I mean the so far great positive. Not just positive, but just impact because you gotta learn how to take negative feedback for you to get better. Yeah, I can't always just give you positive feedback, And look, if you smell really bad or the hair is messy, take that to an account. Yeah, this is and I do agree. Men always, I would say, a good chunk of men present themselves more horribly during the day because they don't put as much attention to looks like women. That's just. Are there some sloppy women out there? Yeah, but that's far more rare than a sloppy guy. Let's just be real.
100%. Yeah, I'm not even wearing pants right now. But
Well, some
yeah.
of you may, use your three letters there. You know what they are. Again, you're getting no prize for that. That's too damn easy. If it was something like a difficult, obscure question, then I'll give you a prize. It's like, oh, damn, you're smart. No, these are too easy. And even, I don't know, brain damaged person can figure it out. So, nope, no prizes. No prizes here. I'm a cheap boat. Yes, you can say that. I could care less. So, I mean, I think yeah, I know cryptocurrency is your expertise. So what's going on with that? It seems like they've been kind of stable. That's just my impression, at least, because I'm invested more to cryptocurrency compared to before. Before I wasn't into it at all because the volatility scared me, and the mainstream media gave a slanted negative coverage of it.
Yeah, so I also just launched a cryptocurrency project. And what that is, and I'll go over cryptocurrency project, what Web2, Web3 is, and like kind of where the whole, I guess, industry is at right now because they're all obviously related. So the project we just launched is called ACES.fun, and it's the place where you could buy culture and trade hype. So just think of it as a stock market for tokenized RWA collectibles. And an RWA stands for real world assets. So it's a tokenized version of those real world assets. So just think of it as like an auction house. So what ACES is, it's a triple-sided marketplace for a seller of a collectible, a buyer of a collectible, and the traders of the derivative based on those collectibles. So it's creating a marketplace based on e-commerce products. So we just launched last week, and we just launched an AP Cause watch. It's a pretty limited, it's a just fancy expensive watch, costs around $520K. So like imagine this. It's like I have this watch. How do I sell this? I don't fucking know. Was there a market? Like, do I put it on eBay? Do I do this? I don't know. So the person listed on ACES.fun. And so what happened at that point in time is an AP cause, like any other cryptocurrency, AP cause token was created and it's paired with ACES. So now there's a derivative marketplace based on the e-commerce product, and people can speculate on the success of the e-commerce product. And let's say you want that e-commerce product, you're like, because again, like people have a token, they're going to post about on social media. They're like, I want, cause crypto pumpamentals is like, I have this token. I went to pump. I tell people about it. It's like a bunch of buzz was created around that token. And every time a trade happened with that token, the seller's actually making money. So I have this watch. I created a token. The token's going up. People are trading it. I'm making trading fees. I'm getting attention, which is fantastic for me. And then you come to Elias, you're like, okay, I've seen this watch. People are posting about social media. What the fuck is this? I kind of want it. I'll buy that watch from Eric. You come in, you buy the watch from me. You now inherit the derivative pair. So now you own the product itself. So you get the watch. You own a ecosystem and a marketplace based on the watch, and now you're earning the trading fees. So now you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. And the cool thing is at the point of sale, so like when you purchase that watch from me, a portion of the profits gets sent back to the traders as a thank you for holding, and that cycle repeats. So that just launched, and that's like, it's a trading platform. You can go to ACES.fun. So we have some cool products coming up, like a Banksy, some celebrity items. That's going to generate a bunch of like buzz around these products. And the cool thing is we launched on Aerodrome, which is Coinbase's DEX. So now every time we launch a token on ACES.fun, people can buy it on Coinbase. So I don't know if you have Coinbase, you can look up AP cause on Coinbase and you'll see AP cause by ACES. And the logic behind that is my mom is going to buy like a Birkin token versus like Fart Coin token or SPS 69. So like we're going to flood the market with those tokens. That's going very well. And so we just launched that. Definitely check it out. It's honestly going to crush it. But that leads me to where cryptocurrency is at a whole. So right now we're experiencing, like, I call them Jane wars or user wars or whatever, because now everyone wants, like, cryptocurrency is kind of stable. So now they're trying to figure out ways to get retail in. So like, how do I get retail in? So that's why we have the support of the base ecosystem for ACES. It's like, okay, like we can get like a celebrity to create a token that's going to bring in their fans. So they saw ACES like, okay, this is a way for us to bring in retail. And now they're supporting it because they obviously want us on their chain. The dating app, like, I mentioned that got like a grant from the Stacks Foundation. They see it's like, okay, this app can get real users and then give them incentive to bring people onto our chain. Let's fund that too. So I'm actually getting funded, like I'm working with two different ecosystems because I view it just like an app. It's like the people use that, the people don't use that. But behind those ecosystems is a cryptocurrency chain. And now chains are trying to find killer apps to bring normal everyday users to their specific chain. And the cool thing about everyday users is like most of them don't give a fuck about the ethos or fundamentals of crypto. They just want to use something that works. So you're going to see more and more chains offer grants, build out ecosystems, create startup accelerators for builders to build on their chain. So that's where we're at in cryptocurrency. It's like, great, the technology is there, but honestly, like, let's be real, like, no one was fucking using, go back 2 years, like, who the fuck is using crypto? No one. But that has to change for the chain to win. And if one chain gets all the users, then honestly, they're going to win. So now chains are incentivizing build, because like, again, like cryptocurrency is worth enough money where a lot of the chains have cash flow to like give grants, give funding. So now they're trying to get builders to build cool products on their app so that retail comes and use their app. So that's where ACES.fun again, launching like celebrity collectibles. We have like a Banksy coming up. That's going to bring in a lot of retail for people. Like, again, like you don't know what a bank, it's like, you know what Banksy is, but you don't really know the crypto, but it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. What is that? So that's going to bring people onto the base chain, which is created by Coinbase. The Stacks Foundation is funding dating. It's like, okay, like when you sell that data, if you want to sell that data, like you'll get paid out in SBTC. So you get paid in Bitcoin. And then it's our job as both ACES.fun and dating, because I know customers are fickle. Like, God, no one wants to deal with that cryptocurrency backend. It has to be easy for both of them to create that bridge. So ACES, it's a trading platform, so a little more high tech. But like for dating, it's like the average user doesn't want to build a wallet, so they have to do that integration all within the app and just create the app. They get sent their money. It's like, again, that just highlights how we're in the middle of chain wars right now. And so, yeah, like when Web3 eventually succeeds, which I think it will, it just has to be done in the background. Like you have to be using dating, getting paid in your stacks. You're technically paid in Bitcoin. You probably don't want that, so it just has to be a dollar amount. With ACES, it's like, okay, like I'm on Coinbase, it's easy to buy. I just buy the speculative token. I get paid dollar amounts on itself.
Yeah, so it's gonna eventually, I don't want to say legitimize, but it's gonna eventually make cryptocurrency, as a acceptable for lack of a better word, mainstream revenue and funding and all that. Because the race says great, it's coming in, and now I want to make it retail. Yeah, that means it's already bringing close to being mainstream at this point. Especially bringing what celebrity base coins and Banksy. Well, I already know what Banksy is, right? This mysterious. That's gonna definitely. They got clout. That's what cool kids call it. That's gonna generate buzz easily. So I think that's a very good starting point if you want to get it buzz quickly, right? Because a lot of people know what celebrities are. A lot of people know what Web3 cryptocurrency is, but a lot of people know who a celebrity is, especially in America. They know about celebrities, a lot, but when it comes to important things in politics, oh, some of them are stupid,
Oh,
misinformed dipshits that have passionate opinions. Some of you. Not for my
not
listeners and
everyone,
viewers,
but
but
yeah, but
my
yeah.
listeners and viewers, you're smart. You're the exception. But there's some people I talk to. They're just stupid.
I
They're
wouldn't say
just
that.
they're just dumb. But
I wouldn't
go
say
ahead.
I wouldn't say stupid. I would say more brainwashed.
Fine. I'll
Like
say more
there's a
brainwash. Yeah,
there
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
like you're
yeah.
not even like dumb. You're just kind of you're just like a talking point piece for the person doing the brainwashing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right. You see, I don't mind being corrected. See, that's a wise person. Yes, sure is. But it's just people just get brainwashed so easy. No, question things. Even question what I'm doing. Yes, I'm that consistent there. I want you to be critical thinkers. I want you to be question things. And if you might catch me there, I could be unintentionally spreading misinformation. Call me out. It's not the
And it,
first time. I want you
and
to hold me to the fire. Yeah.
and it's good for you if you get called out too. Like
Yeah.
it benefits like I mean you either ignore or you don't, but like because the good thing is like I think the whole point of life is just to it's self knowledge, and I think the again spirituality, whether you believe it or not, I don't perfectly care, but I think that we all are lessons that we need to learn. And if you don't learn your lesson by someone else, like if you were to call me out on something, like Eric, you're being a dipshit, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Then I'm gonna continue being a dipshit, or like if you don't learn your lesson that the universe is trying to teach you, it's just going to keep repeating it until you eventually learn. It's like going back to the dating example. If you're a specific type of relationship and that's causing a relationship to fail, you're just going to keep getting that same type of relationship until you fix yourself. And then that's when you get the better relationship. So until you learn your lesson, it's going to keep repeating. So just learn it faster. It's easier for you anyways. Less heartbreak.
Yeah, exactly. With your expedited trial and error, instead of going through 50 dates, you might just need 3
Yeah.
or maybe 10. I'm willing to stretch it that far. But look, you're expediting the process, right? And look, I want to learn. I want to grow too. That's why I'm open for you just to be critical. Look, if you give like constructive feedback that is specific, accurate, and relevant, I take those. But if you're going to say you're stupid or your mama's so fat, I'm going to ignore you because that's stupid to me. Or even just saying my podcast is great with no reason. I'm ignoring
So
that
thank
too.
you.
That's empty. Thank you, I guess.
Well, it's like,
That's all
wow.
you're gonna get. I mean, just give a reason why it's good, or give a reason why it sucks. Yeah, either the opposite direction. So, look, your feedback matters. That's my tough way of saying it, and it does because one said the lighting was, the lighting was bad. I fixed that. I got studio lighting. Audio was crap. Now I got a better microphone. Now I got a headphone attached to this thing, and the sound is far more controlled and clear as opposed to before. The video quality was a bit iffy. Yeah, I don't use Zoom. I use Riverside. So your feedback matters, people. Your feedback matters.
That's how you get better, honestly. That's why your
Yeah,
podcast is getting better, is because people took the time to listen and give you feedback.
yeah. And I took it. The ones I didn't take was you're just wrong, or you're stupid, or why you hating.
It's like, thank you.
Even though I was correct about Kevin McCarthy having a very short speakership, I was correct. So I'm not taking that feedback. I'm right, and you're just in your feelings. I'm throwing that one out the window. You don't have to accept all feedback too, because some of it they just secretly hating on you, or they don't have anything good to say. So you just gotta spew just to feel like they're putting you down, and just differentiate. Ones that got lessons hidden in there, and some of it's just trash. Throw it out.
Yeah, signal versus noise. There's some signal in there, but there's also a bunch of noise.
Yeah, yeah. So exactly. Listen, people. Look, look. I care in a weird way. I don't show it most of the time because I'm rough around the edges, New York, kind of New Yorker. So, and I bring that with me, rather you love it or not. And sometimes I will double down on it, especially if I know it pisses you off. I will troll, especially if I know it sometimes.
Well, then, if you're pissing someone off, you're technically doing them a favor. Because, like, if you were to piss me off or something, that's a lesson that I actually have to learn, and it's going to keep coming. So, like, again, going back to spirituality, I think like we all selected the experiences we have. So, like, if I'm angry, I'm going to bring people in my life who trigger the anger to make me learn that lesson. So, if you were to piss me off, you're doing me a favor because you're bringing us something to the surface that I personally have to deal with. And once I deal with it, you'll stop pissing me off. So he's doing it for your listeners. When he pisses you off, he's doing you a favor. So say thank you.
Yep. Or, and
Or
I'm
you
going
just
to be
make it,
cynical here, or you just keep drinking the emotional Kool-Aid and you'll learn, and I'll just keep pissing you off, and that cycle will continue, and I will get a kick out of it. Look, I care for you in a weird way. You know, I'm like that
yeah.
asshole big brother. I will save you when shit really matters. When it comes to minor conflicts, ah,
Well, look at it this way. Like, let's say your listeners are getting pissed off by you right now, and they leave that comment. It's literally feeding you. Like you're talking about, you're laughing at, you're giving them content to go. So, like, as your listener is getting pissed off by Elias, it looks to me as a third party that you're doing a favor because they're talking about it right now. He clearly doesn't give a fuck about you if you're pissing him off. It's like, yeah, it's like the insults roll off your back. So he's
hey,
taking the W right now.
look, I'm a celebrity in your mind, so
Yeah,
hey, you
living
know,
rent
hey.
free.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, living rent freaking free. Thank you for your hospitality.
Yep.
No, but yeah, but all the services. Look, this is just a lesson. You could just evolve from it, learn from it, or you just keep what the cool kids call loop. We keep doing the same stupid shit over and over and over. And it's just like a freaking loop. For those of you who are listening, I'm just doing a circle. I'm just doing a circle motion with my finger because you just keep going through that same cycle of negativity. You're not learning. You're not learning until you break that chain. Then you go freaking higher. Okay. And listen, let's talk about spirituality because I'm actually a spiritual person, and thank God I am because I was a fake atheist for 2 years. So I was a pissed off Christian, in other words, because I don't understand why my father was gone. That's the whole origin
Yeah.
of it. I'm not going to repeat that whole story. I told it 5 different ways already. And listen, I think spirituality is very important because we are spiritual beings, most importantly. And even this physical body is temporary. You know, it is. This is temporary. This is a temporary home. Yeah. Yep. So, and I say, look, what you consume, you think it's not going to affect you, but if you meditate and dig to your subconscious, you realize that, ooh, this horror film really got me scared, or the reason why I don't trust people because of these scandalous films that you be watching. You know, the man having 3 different wives, or the woman having 10 different relationships. Okay. And you know, that does feed to your subconscious. Consciously, you know better, but your subconscious doesn't filter. It takes in the good, the bad, the ugly, the weird. It
It
takes
takes it.
everything.
And I
It
think
just takes it.
I think your subconscious is actually creating a reality too. So like if you're watching, like let's use the dating example, because yeah, like like the whole red pill vibe, the whole female red pill vibe, whatever it is. Like yes, it's entertaining, but it's also rage baity. So if you're thinking like all girls are bad, all girls have a rotation of 5 guys, then that's exactly the reality you're gonna build for yourself, and then you're just gonna attract those people in your life, and it's gonna become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But that's also a flip side again. Like if you think of I mentioned technology is neutral, like AI is neutral, knives are neutral. Like your subconscious is neutral. Like everything is neutral to your subconscious. Just how you want to word it. It's like I choose to view the positive things in life because, I mean, again, like I found it sounds like you found spirituality like through hardships. Like I've personally I've had a good family and friend life, but like from the whole business side, it's been extraordinarily difficult. And then the spirituality content, because I used to think it was complete bullshit before, but then at a certain point I realized it wasn't, and then I started believing it, and my life's just gone way better before. So whether it's hoo-ha, whether it's not, I don't care. I like it. I like talking about it. It helps me greatly. So that's just what we're gonna do. And again, like the right content finds me at the right time. You meet the right amount of people, and then it just kind of takes off from there. So I view spirituality as the base of everything, and like both the projects I'm building, ACES.fun and dating, the intention is to help users. Like ACES.fun, the intention is if you want to come in and speculate on a coin, the intention is you make money because we want you to make money because we designed a system where everyone makes money. The traders make money when the sell happens. The buyer makes money with trading fees. The buyer gets the product. Like everyone's trying to make money. And dating, the intention is to match you with someone who's good. Like again, like if you want to be in a polyamorous relationship, we should be able to sort that out and then find you that person. Because again, no judgment. But if you want to be in this monogamous relationship, we can find that too. So the intention is good, and both companies have a spiritual base. Like for God's sakes, like ACES.fun, we're doing our launches based on astrology, which again, most people think it's bullshit. But when we listen to astrology, it works. Dating, when you're programming AI, we program the spiritual base, like a lot of the ancient texts, into the base of the AI, so it kind of does good for people.
Oh, that actually, you know what? I normally dismiss astrology. But I am curious though. So I obviously it takes astrology to an account, right? And how true are those compatibilities? Is it like case by case? Some are bullshit, some are true, or is it mostly true or mostly false?
Honestly, like I used to think astrology is complete bullshit. Like I'm sure like most people do. Now I'm really big into when I listen to it, it works. When I don't listen to it, it just simply doesn't work. And I think it's the way I view it is like when people are interacting, it's basically a chemical reaction. Like me and you are interacting based on the chemical reaction. So like my experiences are interacting with your experiences, which is why it's bad to have trauma for a relationship. So if I came in, let's say I've been on 5 different podcasts and they all burn me horribly, I would bring that chemical reaction to yours and create a negative chemical reaction. So like your date, birth, and time, again, I think everything is related. It's part of who you are. Like, yeah, like again, all energy, frequency, vibration. Yes, the planets do, like when they're wherever they are at, it does affect who you are when you're born. So just like, yeah, I think it really does. And I can't explain that because I haven't done a deep dive into astrology, but I just noticed when I listen to the charts, things work. When I don't, it doesn't. And that's just a pattern I've noticed.
Common sexual activity. The haters and supporters could join on this one.
Well,
Do you think
basically,
astrology is real, or you think it's complete bullshit?
hate,
That's the
hate,
question for you.
hate on because in the way you're supporting me because you're sending me energy and I'll because in like I believe in there's three realms. So there's a spiritual world, the mental world, and the physical world. So stuff starts in the spiritual world and eventually manifests in the physical world. Like everything that's happened in the physical world starts as a thought. Like this phone was a thought first. So if I can get you thinking about me, you're sending me your energy in the physical world, which is making me more, no, you're sending me energy in the mental world, which is more effective in the physical world. So like, that's why positive thinking is so powerful too. It's like, that's why you have to focus on your goal over and over again because you're storing that mental energy and eventually comes down to the real world.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, because everything was just a thought. I mean, look, AI wasn't just, created out of just, I don't know, pure luck. I mean, someone thought of it. And AI has been around, and I said this again. It's been around way before ChatGPT. The only
Yeah.
thing ChatGPT did was made it public. That's a big difference. Before AI was used in video games, calculators, more eliminating capacities, right?
That's what everyone's, so back to your cryptocurrency before, that's what
Yeah.
everyone's trying to find right now. Is like, like ChatGPT is a killer app for AI and everyone could use that. All the crypto chains are trying to incentivize builders to build that app that everyone just kind of uses with their cryptocurrency. So that's kind of where we're at with and AI and crypto are very related. So I think it'll happen relatively soon, but sorry to interrupt, but that's just kind of where.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, my thing was just AI didn't start with ChatGPT. ChatGPT just made it public. That's all it did. It let the cat out of the bag for the public to use. That's the big difference. Like AI was used in video games, it was used in calculators, it was used on the more limited capacity. Okay, it's a official history. Ever since computers were first made, I think that's when AIs were essentially created. Just far more limited, but now it's far more impressive. It continues to get better and better and better. And sometimes, just like you said, it depends on the user's intent and execution. They use it for better. They use it to be disrespectful, controversial. And I bring these examples again. Mr. Rogers, I think some of you millennials will understand that. Gen Z, you just think I'm talking ancient history here. Mr. Rogers versus Bob Ross, they had a wrestling match. So people laughed. Some people were offended by it. Okay, me, I laughed, and then I just thought to myself, I just think that's pretty disrespectful. I had time to reflect on that. Would I ban it? Sadly, no. But Sora AI has taken the initiative to ban the Martin Luther King in general because they had him say, I have a dream that I'm getting the hell out of America. He just left America, things like that. And that generated, so much buzz for, I would say, mostly the controversial wrong reasons. And people started debating, I think we should start restricting using certain political figures because they disrespected. And of course, I knew Sora AI was going to eventually do that. And I won't be surprised they did clap down on using anime because Japan was pissed about it. They was using Goku and One Punch. You know those characters, you know.
Of course I do. Goku versus
Yeah, yeah,
Goku versus Saitama. Let's see what.
yeah. Yeah, well, me, I'm becoming the boomer. The last thing I remember was Naruto, and then I slipped away. I remember Dragon Ball as well,
Yeah.
because to me those are the gold animes. One Punch, yeah, it was good, but I kind of get the point. He's like so overpowered, but yet he looks so dull. The bad guys are so cool. He's so hyped up, but yet just that one punch, that's it. It was all that hype, just I think I kind of get the message of that. I said, look, you don't have to be the most impressive looking person. Look, if you just look at the anime, of the animation, how the main character looks, he don't look that impressive like a corny superhero, but yet he delivers. He's extremely powerful, okay? But his look is, you won't call it amazing or great, but he does deliver. He does deliver. While these bad guys look so cool and flashy, yeah, but well, all it takes is one punch. That's it.
Yeah.
Bam, done.
It's funny because his names are there's a name because like the bad guy is like, I'm the mega alien Lord Zarbod. Here's my super flashy attack. It's 30 words, and his attacks are like a normal punch and normal consecutive punches. So those are his named attacks.
And he's supremely effective. He's very effective. That's the point, because all that flashiness and showing off the credentials, I'm a mega overlord and all this shit talk, and then he just destroys him very easily. He's very bored too. I don't blame him.
Yeah,
it's all theater, and it can destroy it. It's hilarious. I laugh. I said, what is someone's gonna challenge him? Maybe they need another one punch. I don't know, but hey, I haven't been watching anime that much. You can talk kind of ignorant anime. The last one I started watching, I think it was like Naruto Shippuden, and then I didn't bother watching Boruto. I just said, like, I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah, no.
And some people say it's not. It went downhill from there. That's what the consensus is. So it's okay. I'll probably watch it when I'm bored, when I have a lot of free time. But I don't think that's ever the case. I'm always on the go. But let's just to say all this, that use things responsibly, people. And I don't know, maybe they're going to create a AI black market where you're still allowed to do these banned things. Don't be surprised. I'll be surprised it's already done. I know I'm kind of I'm not snitching because I don't know where's the specific one. I'll call it the black market AI, where all the banned stuff is allowed to be created.
Yeah.
Hey, it can happen. Hey, I'm pretty sure it's happening right now. So
unfiltered LLM, someone will build that. Actually, I'm sure it's actually live too.
Yeah. So, hey, I mean, what's your take on all that? People just using AI for controversy, fun, or inspiration?
My take is overall positive. I think it follows a social media trend where like positive people make good content. Like most of the AI videos I actually see are just honestly pretty just uplifting and funny and just like spiritual. So like I think people are getting better and better. Like overall, like if you go on that vibrational scale, I think people are slowly climbing. So as people slowly climb, they use AI for good things. So like people are going to try to drum up controversy, but eventually like people will be such high vibe where I'll just ignore the bad ones, and then eventually they get ignored. They eventually go away, and then people kind of start to use AI for good. And like I'm pretty excited too. Like for example, like I'm a comic fan, like and I think movies have butcher comics, so like I can just, hey, give me an AI, give me the exact video, no edits, no nothing, of Batman, the Killing Joke, and I'll just actually create the actual thing. I think that's pretty cool, and I don't know, we're having fun with it within our companies. Like we're making Sora videos of like our other team members and just using it to troll each other too.
Oh yeah, see, I'm open to the fun stuff, and you brought up a point I forgot to make. I just think overall, I think the world is being more aware that spirituality is good, and more people is more open to that than before. Because, and I definitely noticed that more people is more open to the spiritual aspects, the positive aspects. I'm starting to see that grow, so I'm actually more hopeful. If you had told me this 15 years ago, I would have been doom and gloom. I would say, Eric, what the hell you talking about? You taking you taking too much happy mushrooms, dude. I do
like mushrooms.
Yeah.
The reason why you're seeing all that positive change is because your frequency is rising. So if your frequency is rising, you're going to start noticing more and more of the positive changes, and then the cool thing is, because I think everyone has an inner purpose and everyone has an outer purpose. Your inner purpose is to raise your own level of vibration. Because what does that do? It raises those around you. So, like, again, like now some of your listeners are going to be slightly raised from this conversation. They may ignore spirituality the first time, second time, third time, but eventually it's going to stick. And that's because you're raising your own vibration. So the people around you are getting better and better. And that's why it's exponentially increasing. So, like, the more, again, like you said, like 5 years ago when you talk about spirituality, but now that it's more and more open, people are like, oh, this is kind of cool. And again, like, before we both got in spirituality, we both thought it was complete bullshit because everyone does. But now it's like, it's clearly not. And more people are realizing. Now it results in a better world for all of us all, like being tech, products, food. I think it's just generally getting better.
Yeah, no, I agree. You talked to me about this as a teenager, I would have said, you're high, you're on drugs, bro. The astrology, I would have just straight just reject you. I said, look, you seem like a cool person, but you're batshit crazy. I would just reject it just outright. And I'll say more to I'll say I find God again, and then not find God again. But I got back into, my spiritual stuff at 18. Going to church again. I was 18, 18, and then I started digging deeper into spirituality. This is what I say, and I'm going to say this again. Christianity, Buddhism, Shintoism, why am I forgetting? Judaism, they all starting points of spirituality. Yeah, that's why I see it.
They all starting points.
Buddhism and I'm going to give you a real obscure one. I'm in sort of Zoroasterism.
Oh, that one's hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Hermeticism, Kabbalicism, like, because you start off with the religion ones, I think this is bullshit, but then, I don't know, there's some cool ones out there. Well, I need to go on I haven't been on because Zoro is something I just barely touched, and then kind of I switched to Kabbalism because that's just kind of where the universe took me. But now that you mentioned it, I've had enough people recommend I look into that. I'm going to look into that. So thank you for that suggestion. I'm sure you recommended that because people said it's honestly pretty sick. So like now that you mentioned it, I will look into it, and then that will help me as a person, and that'll help more people. But see how it spreads. Like we're talking about it, even spread it to me. So shout out to you.
Yeah, look, I have a historical background, so I had to study all of these religions in the academic sense. But now I'm studying more now I'm immersing myself deeper to all of them. One aspect of another to see what are the common truths here. There are patterns to all of them, believe it or not. There are some patterns, believe it or not. So, we look, at the end of the day, look, all of them to me, they're just a starting point. Yeah. And then spirituality is just all that combined, and then even more that we haven't even.
Oh, it's a whole. Jesus, we're just barely scratching the surface. One of the best things. It's my favorite thing to research, honestly. It's more entertaining than either of the companies by far. So I like it. And it helps me. So
So for those of you who are skeptical, at least do your research. I'll just say, don't just outright dismiss it. Just do your research. Challenge your own thinking if you're brave enough to do so. Or, you just continue to drink your own.
Or don't. Like, it's up to you.
Yeah,
right?
drink your own Kool-Aid. Just believe your own box. Okay. You love your box that much, you stay there. Because I don't believe in dragging people. I'd rather leave you behind. Yes, I'm not. Yeah, I am that shameless. I have
to focus on me. You want to join? You join. If you don't, it's like you'll eventually catch up. That's the thing. Like everyone will get to the same level eventually. But I got my things I need to do. I'm trying to be slowed down.
Well, I want to forget that person exists at that point. I'm just saying. I have that. I got look. This is my New York mindset. You do it or not? Okay, I'm going.
I wish you the best. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Like, I hope everything works out for you, but bye.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, this has been a great conversation. Look, the last one was just mixed with politics. This one's mixed with spirituality. And you know what? Hey, that makes it even better for this podcast because those are the main three things: politics, technology, and development. Well, spirituality is the biggest one that dominates that lane. Hey, and I got people talk about ghosts and all that other stuff. So, hey, look, rather you choose to believe it or not, it's entirely up to you at the end of the day. I'm just giving you a perspective here, and then you give it a shot or not. That's hard to say. What shameless plug-in besides dating that I got here? Anything else you want to shout there? I know you say ACES.fun.
Yeah, so just check out dating, dating.io, and ACES.fun, ACES.fun. And my spirituality plug is I'm super into Kabbalicism right now. It's been helpful for me. I like it. Hermeticism is honestly probably my base, so check that out. The Emerald Talisman has been super helpful, and my most beneficial spirituality thing I've ever done is a 10-day silence retreat called Vipassana meditation. That was super sick, completely free. There's centers all over the world, actually. So yeah, that's more. I don't believe in. I mean, shame is low vibration, so those are my plugs. They're my loving plugs. They're not shameful ones. They're simply, if you want to check them out, you can. If you don't, that's good on my back.
Yeah, they all shameless. This is a very capitalistic podcast there. They're all shameless. Even if it's something shameful in there, well, that's up to the customer to figure that out. It's shameless as far as this podcast is concerned, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Look, yeah, so I'm going to provide all those links. Or if I don't have them, feel free to nudge me to bother Eric to get some of those links. Okay, that's all I'm going to say because at times I do forget, and I say, okay, one of them point out the something I forgot to link. So hey, that's something that yeah, they say meditation retreats. Those are good. It really just, whew, clean all that invisible gun call stress of the modern world.
Oh, it does.
So
That's
I've been to a few retreats. I think one was more like just a general retreat. One was a more Christian one, but I definitely want to try other retreats as well, just to get the experience. And I even tried a Buddhist retreat just for curiosity, even though I didn't end up not being a Buddhist. But hey, everyone's journey is unique. You make your choice at the end of the day. But I thought the communal part of Buddhism was actually very cool. I just say I wish Christians would implement that more. I mean, Christians used to kind of do that, but I don't know. Christianity, even though you're growing in conversion, but in terms of birth rates, not that great. That's what Muslims
yeah, they're
are
crazy.
dominating. Yeah, they just
Let's
they're
keep
just pop.
going. Yeah,
Yeah,
things popping them
they
out.
make it
Like,
up. Yeah, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Hey,
what?
that's but in terms of conversion, that's where Christianity dominates.
Yeah.
So hey, that these are hey, look, take it, leave it, and if you can feel sad, happy about it, and I could give you more stats on that. What's going on with conversion versus birth rates, and which one's gonna outpace? Because hey, I'm not for religious domination. I just think you should have your free choice to do it, or you just not believe in anything, or just be a nihilist. Well, actually, don't be a nihilist. I don't recommend that. But if you end up being that,
Good
don't be
luck.
surprised. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was gonna be nice there, kid. I mean, behave. I think my vibration's getting a little bit high. Cause normally I would say a couple of smart ass comments by now.
Well, that's one thing I want to touch on is
No, go ahead.
I've learned that evil speech is pretty unproductive for me. So whenever you say something bad about something, it harms the person. First of all, it harms yourself. It harms the person you're talking to, and it harms the person you're directing it at. So it's one of those things where just no one wins. And again, like obviously I like to talk shit and stuff, but I'm trying to be more aware of when I'm about to say something bad about something. And every time I said something bad about someone, it always comes back to
Yeah, I'm a work in progress on that because
yeah, no, it's tough.
yeah,
It's tough, but
and
yeah.
I just want to strangle that and talk all that crap, and sadly, enjoying the old style WWE doesn't help either because it was just, look, I love the entertainment, especially good shit talk. Look, I was raised on that. Okay, I don't care. You could call me toxic mask, the toxic man. I don't give a fuck. Really, I don't. But at the end of the day, if you find some lessons and pearls of wisdom out of this, you are awesome. Okay. And for those of you that don't, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on that right now, but I won't be surprised next episode I'm going to forget half of these things. But I know, in a serious note, I am a work in progress because I used to talk bad a lot more. I noticed that, but I noticed I talk less bad in the podcast. So that's like season 3 and 4. Yeah, I was spewing some stuff. But I noticed that now it's just more fun. I'm more jovial, more of that. I think it was only one I kind of had like some negative vibes, and even I guess kind of knew it, but we were just both. But we reached like freaking understanding. He didn't take it personally, he was phenomenal. I was like, my bad. I actually apologize to him off camera because it was just, I normally don't bring, I normally could just meditate, rebound, but I just brought that weird negative vibe because the last interview was so boring and so unproductive. So it's true. Yeah, it does transfer. If you're not aware of it, you don't intercept it, you're spreading it to others. Yeah. So what Eric's saying is actually true, people.
Or it isn't.
Deny it or accept it.
I don't know.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have vibrations and it does spread. So there's truth to that. And I even got me a frequency book. So I'm going to see, what are the mechanics of that, but just probably bring it down to the science. So, hey, listen, Nikola Tesla was onto something. but yet he's not talked about.
Smart dude.
Oh,
That's for sure. Yeah,
that's putting it mildly. A fucking genius.
He's not talking about for a reason. But
Yeah. Yep. Now I'm beginning to figure out why.
yeah, according to Tesla's like
Well, if I disappear, you know why.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, I'm
he won't
kidding.
disappear.
I get into that.
But yeah, according to Tesla, everything is energy frequency vibration. He's right.
Yeah. No. Yep. So, hey, if you follow Nikola Tesla, even though he's dead, but his wisdom is as true as ever. So, and his discoveries are just on point. It's super relevant.
And by the way, once you learn all the spiritual stuff, a lot of his discoveries are based on spirituality too. So there's that.
I already made that.
He knows what he's talking about. So
I'll listen to that. I'll be a fool to reject that. Yeah. So, hey, so people just follow Eric here. He's sharing some good stuff, not just finance and dating and spirituality. Come on, give him some support, will you? That's all I'm going to say.
And likewise, give Elias some support. He comes out here, he puts in the work, and I could tell from the last podcast that sounds much more positive. So it's clearly done. Something's clearly going well in his world. So give him support, follow him, leave a comment, positive or negative. You're both feeding him. So yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, and I'm going to share his social media links as well. That's the standard practice of this podcast. So now for my shameless plugin, which is getting longer and longer because there's some goodies here. Some are free and some you're giving me money without breaking your wallet. Yeah, that's possible actually. And I'm going to explain that one, but let me get the straightforward one out the way. The new paper. If you're tired of political spin of the news, you just want straight facts. You want a short read, a very short read, about stocks, sports, politics, national, international. Sign up for the new paper. It's completely free. Okay. It is completely free. And then the other link, join Podmatch. Podmatch been great. I mean, that's how I first met Eric, believe it or not.
It is great.
It's awesome software. I've tried others. They suck. So FYI, Matchmaker. I mean, I never met so much. Okay. Unprofessional people. See, I'm trying to be
there we go.
That took some out of me. I was gonna just say scum of the earth. But hey, so somewhere there, I never dealt with, and you could tell it was very transactional. I met some few good people from there, don't get me wrong, but it was not worth it. 20% was good, 80% was not great for me. While Podmatch is the opposite, complete opposite. 80% great, 20% not so great. I can handle that, fine. I don't expect anything to be perfect, but Podmatch is very good. It's very good. If you're looking for guests, your podcast, or you're a guest looking for to be on podcasts, Podmatch can easily help you. It has an awesome one-page profile feature. You can edit, make changes. Instead of just doing it the old way, go to Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, do all those reformatting and typing and then saving it and it turns to a PDF. And if you have to update or made a mistake, you got to redo that crap again and go through that messy email chain. Come on, be smart. We're in the 21st century. That is so early 2010s. We're in 2025, people. And we're about to hit 2026 real soon. So come on, get it together, people. Get it together. So join Podmatch, and it is affordable too. If you want to go to a higher tier of standard membership and pro membership. Okay. And then for the coolest one, in my opinion, Podmatch might be a little offended. The Free Guys website. Yep. You could give me money without breaking a wallet. Yeah, it's actually possible. Because if you want a website, we really need one for credibility. If you're a speaker or, your podcast needs a website, go to them. And they're, they got the free and they got the cheap. And of course, I got the expensive plan as well. I'm just going to be transparent. But you could relatively pay very little just to have your website. That's all I'm going to say. And you'll actually be funding me money as well if you go there. So join the free website, guys. They're very good. They walk you through it. They give you step by step. They work at your pace. They don't pressure you. They will give you some follow-ups, but they don't pressure you at all. Okay. So that's my final one for you. And for the review, can't believe I almost forgot this. Give an honest review at Apple Podcasts. If it's a 4-star or less, give one reason why the podcast could improve, right? At least one. And if it's a 5-star, why the podcast episode was great. Okay. I just don't want it's good or it sucks. It doesn't work for me. Okay. It really doesn't. So And then for those of you who use Spotify, I'm not going to pay attention to those reviews. I think Spotify is funny. I only use them as a walk, as my freaking music playlist. I don't do anything else with that. Okay. But if you end up leaving a lot of reviews there, if a lot of people start flocking over there, then I'll have to change your mind. But so far, people's been leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So, and finally, this is the most important thing. Just like, share, subscribe, the whole social media thing. Share this with someone who you believe could tremendously benefit for it. This is an infotainment kind of thing. You get some information, some wisdom with some entertainment, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Alrighty then. Finally, final statement here. When you complete this visual or audio journey, you have a blessed day, afternoon, or night.